Welcome into SportsCenter on YouTube. Cristina, Alexander, Randy Scott alongside. Jim Harbaugh is already in midseason form with the media, while the Yankees, Cristina, very much looking for a midseason spark.
Yeah, the only thing they've sparked is concern, and Aaron Boone and company didn't watch the gap between the train and the platform. Got to be careful with that. Instead, they got swept. They left the broom at home. The Mets brought their Dyson to the Bronx. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Aaron Judge and company taking on the Mets in the Bronx. Yankees lineup has been very imbalanced their last 30 games, with most of the production coming from Judge and Juan Soto. Here's a perfect example. Bottom third, game tied at 1. Soto said, you know what? Let's give the fans something to cheer for. That's gone for a home run. Soto, he knows it's gone, and he says, hey, you like that, catcher Francisco Alvarez? It's all smiles for now. The Yankees were leading into the fourth, still 2-1. Garrett Cole, he had a rough outing against the Mets back on June 25th, but has been solid in 4 starts since. Pete Alonso said, I don't care. Here's a home run to left center field. Good for you. Don't care. Here's my home run. Cole disappointed with that because Alonso now has 5 seasons with 20-plus home runs, tied for 4th most in Mets history. So the Mets taking lead 3-2. It seemed to be the trend of the night, and also the trend of the night was Francisco Lindor and his home runs, including this one. Crushing it to right field. That's his second deck for Lindor's 20th homer of the season. He high-fives and started Galina by the dugout and said, you know what, Daddy's having fun. You should too. Here's some gum. Mets lead 5-2. On to the 6th. Same score here. It's Cole facing Tyrone Taylor. And Taylor hits it just over Gleyber Torres' glove. And it's into the outfield. Jeff McNeil comes in to score. And Cole, he's allowed 7 homers against the Mets this season. That's tied for the most by a Yankee in a 2-game span start against any single opponent. Not good, and it was not great for the Yankees. On to the 8th, and it wasn't great for Caleb Ferguson. What did I say about the trend of the night? It's Lindor again. His 2nd homer of the night. This is the 3rd time he has hit a home run from each side of the plate as a Met. The Mets go on to win 12-3, and Aaron Boone not so happy with where they are.
I'm not defining. We got to play better, okay? We have it right in front of us. We're a really good team that has played of late. We need to be better. I'm not going to define stretch this or that. We got to go win, right? And we're right there. You know, we're watching, other teams struggle around us. We know we got to be better, okay? We got to, we're pissed off in there. We got a lot of pride in there. We have a lot of expectation in there. So stretch, slump, recent, I don't give a shit. We got to play better the rest of the way. And it's right there. I've said it's right in front of us. It is. It's right in front of us, right? For as bad as it's been, we're also in a great position.
I mean, they were in a great position. The Yankees jumped out to an amazing start this season, opening an MLB best 50-22 and leading the majors in both runs scored and runs allowed. Since then, they also have 22 losses, but up against just 10 wins. Only the White Sox have had a worst record since June 15th.
Let's get out west. We got the Dodgers leading the way in that division, taking on the Giants. Good to see Robbie Ray back, coming off a Tommy John surgery, first start since March the 23rd, and he got Kike Hernandez, and he got Nick Ahmed in the 2nd, and then top of the order, DHing and striking out is Shohei Ohtani. Ray said, I knew if I got through their first inning, I could settle down, and he sure did. All he needs is run support. As Tyler Glasnow's back, he's off the IL. He had lower back tightness, and Matt Chapman is happy to see him. 14th home run of his season. We are all square at 1 apiece. Giants have not won at Dodger Stadium in 7 straight tries. Mike Yastrzemski drives one home there later in the inning. Glasnow 5 innings, 2 earned, 4 hits, 4 Ks. Giants would have a 2-1 lead. That was enough for Ray. Said it was a flurry of emotions. Super special night all around as he got Ahmed. And he got Ohtani again. Ohtani has 8 strikeouts in his last 3 games. He was 0 for 4, struck out 3 times last night. Ray, 5 innings, no hits, 8 Ks. And then the Giants got to the bullpen in the 8th. 6 runs, 5 hits in that inning alone. It's Yastrzemski again, and the Giants win 8-3. It had been their longest losing streak at the Dodgers since 1979-1980. That will wake you up. This will charge you up. At least that's the hope. In Los Angeles, where the Jim Harbaugh era is in full swing, day 1 of open practices were sold out in El Segundo. already plenty of Bolt buzz after a 5-12 last place season a year ago. But you got new coach, you got new expectations, got a new season, a new way of viewing a return to the NFL, and a change of scenery that Harbaugh described as only he can.
There's definitely changes, but yeah, I mean, just the way it feels. I mean, it feels like New Year's Day. You know, it feels like being born. It feels like coming out of the womb. You know, it's like you're in there and it's comfortable and it's safe, and now you're out. You're born. The lights are on. You know, it's bright. You got chaos. People looking at you. People talking at you, and just feels good to have it happen.
I guess I'll start, yeah.
Sure.
I can't with the
Well, yeah, that I can attest. That doesn't
What's
happen.
more painful, though? Childbirth or listening to that remark?
Or listening to that? That's the thing. Do you think he came away from that and he was like driving home, he was like, man, I nailed that.
Of course.
I nailed that.
100%.
Also, I think when he was born, he was probably so dialed in that he came out and he shook his mom's hand. He was probably like, hey, Mom, nice job. Nice job there.
Yeah.
Shook her hand, looked her in the eye.
I think you were going to go there.
Man, he's off to a good start. All right, so
I
Big
love it, by the way.
Ten Media Days continue today, where the defending national champions will be under the spotlight without Jim Harbaugh. He bolted to the NFL. You know, Heather Dinich can answer this question for us. What is it like? Hey, good to get a couple minutes with our college football reporter. In all seriousness, as Heather joins us live from Indy, it is a new era for the defending national champions. Sharon Moore taking over for Jim Harbaugh. What are expectations, Heather, as we hear from the new look maize and blue later today?
Well, according to ESPN analytics, Michigan only has a 7% chance to win the Big Ten. That's behind Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they only returned 24% of their offensive production from last year. That ranks 132nd in the FBS. They also have the 18th most difficult schedule in the country, which is why ESPN's FPI projects they'll have 4 losses this season. And you can see where they might come from. At home against Texas in week 2, at home against Oregon. They have to go across the country to Washington, which could be a trap game. And then, of course, there's those Buckeyes. But the good news for Michigan fans, and they know this, is that Moore has already defeated Ryan Day and James Franklin.
Texas, Oregon, Washington, with Ohio State still to go. All-State playoff predictor, though, does give Michigan a 29% chance of making the college football playoff. All right, so Heather, what has been the most interesting topic of conversation from the first 2 days in Indy?
Well, I had a good conversation with Penn State coach James Franklin yesterday and Ryan Day earlier this week about the value of conference championship games in the 12-team college football playoff. College football fans need to realize what coaches are getting onto here. If you play in your conference championship game and you lose and you get an at-large bid, you have to win 4 straight games and play a total of 17 games to win the national title in this system. So my question to James Franklin was, is that gamble worth the risk if you're a team that has national title aspirations? And his answer was, that's an argument that everyone is aware of. And he said he realizes these conference championship games are making a lot of money. The TV deals are in place. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. But at the end of the day, college football as a whole needs to get to a place where everyone is playing an equal schedule, whether it's 8 or 9 conference games, whether you're in a conference or you're not, cough, cough, Notre Dame. And he said that that's what needs to happen in this system in order for all of these teams in the college football playoff race to be judged fairly by the selection committee.
All right, that'll be a debate for later in the season. For now, the college football season begins in 30 days' time. That is Heather Dinich with the latest from Indy.
It's crazy. A lot of changes in college football this upcoming season with that new look, Big Ten, and the expanded playoff format. We'll be very busy on Saturdays, Randy.
We're going to hear a lot from Heather throughout the season. We're already brainstorming some Fire 'em Up segments. I think UCLA will be in our focus, maybe. Make sure to tune in. Yeah, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more SportsCenter on YouTube.